beautiful people on the internet, it's me, Gratify What Is, and I'm here to tell you what if Deku had Luke Cage's powers part 3. And before we get into the story, I want to tell you guys that you should do me a favor and, well, hit that like button, and also hit that subscribe button, and tap the bell if you want to get more of my videos. Anyway, let's jump into the video. Last time I left off, Bakugo and Izuku got their holograms from All Might telling them that they managed to pass the exam. Deku got more points than Bakugo because he managed to save Uraraka from the robots, and it impressed everybody. So we cut now to the present day as Bakugo and Izuku get ready for UA. Mitsuki is pretty proud of them and told them that they should be careful and set up good impressions. And Bakugo just does the usual thing, just ignores her and then screams at her. And then Mitsuki pounds him in the head. While Deku is all like, sure thing, Miss Bakugo. And then, well, see you guys soon. And then they begin to walk off. And as they're walking off, Bakugo and Izuku begin talking about how their school is going to be like. What do you think school is going to be like, Izuku? I have no idea. I mean, this is a place where the greatest heroes are trained. I heard All Might trained here too. Yeah. I can't believe that he's going to be a teacher too. Yeah. Well, want a race? Sure. But you know that your quirk can't really do races. I'm not talking about using quirks. We're going to do a Formula run. Think of it as an exercise. It's like, oh, you're on. And then they take off sprinting. And then, well, Izuku wins. Then Bakugo is like, damn it! And then Izuku just turns to him, smiling and laughing, saying, don't worry, you get me next time. And then they look at the giant door that has class 1A imprinted into it. And then they're like, why on God's good earth would they make a door this big? And then they walk right through it. Some people, well, some of them are just not there. Only Kirishima, Kaminari, Ashido, and Tenya Ida is there. Ida just looks at Izuku and then says, oh, you're that boy that got first place. And then everyone just turns to him and is like, first place? Yeah, he got 150 points. Man, that's pretty amazing, says everyone that is in the classroom. And then Deku is like, whatever, you two nerds can do whatever you want. I'm just going to just stay until class starts. And then he puts his feet up, which triggers Ida. And then they just start shouting their conversation about why they shouldn't do this, and Ida should be saying put your legs down, and then Bakugo is just being annoyed. And then Deku ignores this and then goes back to his seat. Stays there for a couple of minutes until everyone starts coming in. Froppy, Sato, everyone, until only one person was left, Uraraka. And as she's walking, she notices Izuku and is like, hey, you're that boy that saved me earlier. And then Izuku just looks at her and is like, oh yeah, from the entrance exam. Hi. And then he's like, and then Uraraka is like, yeah, I'm pretty fine thanks to you. So how did you survive? Oh well, that's just another part of my power. Power? What do you mean power? Isn't it quirk? And then Izuku is like, well, I'll tell you this later, but it's kind of a little secret between me and him. And then she turns her head to Bakugo, who is still arguing with Ida. He's like, well, my name is Ochaku Uraraka. And she puts her hand up to shake Deku. And then Deku looks at her and then saying, well, Izuku Midoriya. And for those that are wondering, I do switch from Izuku to Deku because in this world, Bakugo did call him Deku, but now that he does have power, he doesn't call him Deku anymore since he isn't worthless. But I just switch it so that some people will get used to it, and some people will know that some of them still call him Izuku. If you want me to stop, please let me know in the comments. Oh, and well, actually no, I'm going to save that later. Anywho, they begin chatting and Bakugo and Ida are still arguing. And then Aizawa just jumps up with his sleeping bag saying, "Everyone, shut up." And then they just look at him, dead silence. And then Aizawa just looks at each and every one of them in his orange sleeping bag intensely. And it says, "It took you all 6 seconds to finally shut up." And then he was like, and then Ida just starts apologizing because, well, he was making noise and he's like, "I'm sorry, sir." And then Aizawa just jumps out of his sleeping bag and then raises his hand saying, "Save it!" While starting your quirk assessment test as he pulls out a remote showing them all their team uniforms. And then he's like, Oracle was like, "Wait, don't we have orientation?" And then Aizawa just looks at her saying, "We don't have time for petty ceremonies like that, so get dressed and head to the field." And as they're getting dressed, Kirishima realizes just how ripped Izuku is. And he's like, "Wow, dude, what is your training regimen? I need to know." And it's like, Izuku just stops this for a minute. And then he's like, "Well, let me think." And then Kirishima also notices something. He has a few scars on his arms and his torso. And then he just points at them saying, "What are those?" And then Izuku just looks at them with a little bit of shock and, well, scared. And then he just regains his composure and then just says nothing. And yes, that's PTSD in action. Anyway, as they get ready, Aizawa is out there in the track until everyone comes out in their gym uniforms. And then he says, "Today we're doing your quirk assessment to see how strong your quirk is," and then yada yada yada, all that good stuff about equality that middle school does and all that jazz. And then says, "Young Midoriya, you got first in the entrance exam. Can you please throw this ball? Can you please come up here? Sorry." And then Izuku just comes up and then is like, "How far have you thrown a ball before?" And then Izuku thinks back. I don't know really. I never really played ball. And he's like, "Well, this time, how about you throw away your quirk?" And then Izuku just touches the ball, throws it up and down. He winds his arm back, and then he throws it. And as he throws it, it causes a sonic boom, making it go 1,206 meters. And then everyone is just looking at him with shock. It's like, how in the ever-living hell are we going to beat that? And he was like, Mina is like, "Well, this is going to be so much fun. I can't believe that we get to use our quirks." And then this triggers Aizawa. And he's like, "Fun? Fun? Okay, how about this for fun? Whoever gets last gets expelled." And then all of them just look scared. Except for Bakugo, Izuku, and Todoroki because daddy issues. Anyway, they start doing all the tests. The long jumps, Izuku gets that because, well, leaping. He's not the first, but he did get a good fair amount because, well, he didn't want to blow up the competition. Race, Ida still wins, followed by Bakugo, then Izuku. Then grip test, oh boy, he blew up that machine. Izuku just blew up that machine. Along with, well, the other ones that got it, Shoji, I think. Sit-ups, pull-ups, and, well, they just did everything. Everyone did the ball throw. Uraka still gets infinity. Bakugo still gets 768 meters. Blah, blah, blah. And then the last person that is last is Minoru Mineta. And then Aizawa just looks at him and is like, "Pack your bags, get out." It's like, everyone just looked at him in shock. He's like, "Hold up, you were serious about that?" Yaruzu says, and he's like, "Yes, and I hope that all of you learned a lesson from this." Minoru Mineta, pack your things. You're out of your way. And then Mineta just begs on his knees. He's like, please give me another chance. And then Aizawa just walks up saying, nope. And then he turns without All Might corner, but the conversation goes differently. And then Aizawa is all like, hey, All Might, how's that injury? And then All Might is like, ha ha ha. Well, nothing really. I can still do it well. It's like, well, take better care of yourself, man. And well, everything still goes out normal. And then Izuku with Bakugo just begins walking home, and then they are tagged along by Tenya Ida and Ochako Uraka as they are walking to the train station as friends, closely being stalked by someone. Anywho, next checklist is filler. As Bakugo and Izuku are just chilling at their homes on a Saturday morning, just at the gym training because they train early, and then they are just lifting up weights, pumping up, doing all that jazz. They are being introduced by All Might on the way, who manages to catches them and then pulls back into Small Might. And then he's like, you two, I have a proposition to make, both of you. And then Izuku and Bakugo just looks at him, and then they say, and then All Might just turns his head left and right and is like, not here, to public, follow me. And then they go all the way back to Bodega Beach, the place where they train with All Might for 10 months. And then Bakugo is like, what do you want from us, All Might? A little bit angry because, well, they had a bunch of stuff planned, studying, hanging out, training, all that. And then he's like, I want one of you to be my successor. And then both of their jaws just drop, and he's like, I'm sorry, say what? And then he just holds out his hand. That little glow of 1-4 is sparking on his hand, and he's like, I have a quirk. My quirk. Do you know what it is? And then Izuku just starts spitting out knowledge nonchalantly. It's like, yeah, people on the internet always keep on speculating about what your quirk is, but nobody really knows about it, so what is it exactly, All Might? And then All Might just says, one for all. And Bakugo just says, that's pretty badass. And then he starts to explain about what his quirk is, and then how it can be transferred from one person to the other, and how strong it can be. And then he just says, and then Luke can't talk. And All Might just, hold on. Sorry, I had to take care of some things. Anyway, All Might just looks at Izuku, and then he just says, young man, due to how your abilities work, I was thinking that I could transfer. And then Izuku doesn't even miss a beep, and he just says, nope. And then All Might looks shocked, and then Bakugo looks at him more shocked. It's like, have you gone insane? This is All Might we're talking about. He's giving you your quirk. You could be his successor. And then Deku is all like, I don't want that shit. I want to become my own hero. Besides, I still don't feel easy about having this power. And if what you say is right and then amplifies it, I don't know, that'll just make me feel more unsure about myself. And then Izuku just turns to him and then he's like, why don't you just give it to Bakugo? And then Bakugo just looks more shocked. Wait, you're thinking about me? But you're much better. And Izuku's like, well, I don't want it. And then Bakugo is all like, dude, take the damn quirk. And then Izuku is like, no. And then Bakugo is like, otherwise I'm gonna force you. And then Deku is all like, make me. And then they begin to clash heads. And then All Might is like, whoa, stop there, little heroes. How about this? A friendly bout. 2 minutes. You two bout each other. And then whoever wins this fight gets my quirk. And then Izuku and Bakugo just agree. Oh, I'm sorry. I said win. And I said whoever loses gets my quirk. And then All Might in the back of his mind is like, God, that is the most weirdest sentence I've ever said. And then Bakugo and Deku just look at him saying, deal. And then both of them just step at the end of the Dagobah beach. And then just grabbing the sand in their hands, remembering how long it took for them to clean that damn beach. And them training with All Might. Bakugo looks at it to the side of the beach, seeing some glass and remembering how he turned that sand into glass with his explosions. And then Deku just looks at a big mark where he lifts a giant spire of trash from the ground with his super strength. And he was like, you know very well I'm not going to be the one that will end up on this floor, right? And then he was like, well, we'll see about that. And then they begin to clash. Explosions go off, wind pressures go off, sound booms are going off. And Norma is just looking at this fight, is like, man, these two are such powerful heroes. I could only imagine how they're going to be like with One for All. And then he just looks at Izuku getting punched in the face and then sent back. He's like, that did nothing to me, bro. He's like, Izuku Midoriya, if you accepted my quirk, the amounts that you could be able to surpass me would be immeasurable. Invulnerability plus super strength. And if your invulnerability works the way that you say that it does, well, I'm not sure that it will have protected you. But, you could have surpassed me with the way that you've been training all your life. And then he looks at Katsuki Bakugo, who gets somersaulted into the air with a punch into the gut by Deku. And then he manages to catch himself with his explosions. And then he just says, All Might says, Katsuki Bakugo, you've also been training for most of your life, but not as much as Deku. You may not show it, but you have the heart of a hero. I think that my quirk will really resonate better with you than Izuku. And then a flash of light from Bakugo's explosions happen, and then there's a giant smoke. And from that smoke, you see Deku standing on top of Bakugo saying, I win. You get to have the quirk. It's like, God damn it. I can't believe I lost to you. It's like, Deku just helps him up saying, hey man, think about it this way. If you get All Might's quirk, you might be able to beat my ass. Bakugo contemplates this for a moment and then is like, yeah, you're totally right. And then All Might just claps in his buff form saying, well done, heroes. And Bakugo, you shall now inherit One for All. And then Bakugo, he's actually a little bit excited. And then he's like, okay, All Might, what do I do? Do I have to like jump up and down? Do we have to like clap hands? Do I have to do a ritual? I'll do anything, man. Because this is like one of the most monumental things in my... And All Might pulls out his hair and then just says, eat this. And then Bakugo is like, I'm sorry, what? And then Deku, he is rolling. He is rolling on the sand saying, oh my god, I'm so glad I'm not the one on the floor. And this is where I'm going to leave it off, guys. I hope that you enjoyed everything. And next time on part 4, it will be the heroes versus villains. And I hope that I see you all guys there. And don't forget to like this video and to subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next time.